Have you ever wondered if she's truly serious about you, or if you're just another chapter in her story meant to be forgotten when the next distraction comes along? It's one of those quiet fears men rarely admit, but feel deep down, that unsettling thought that you might be giving your heart to someone who's only halfway in. Because in today's world where attention spans are short and temptation is a swipe away, knowing who's genuinely invested has become an art form. The truth is, a woman who's serious about you doesn't just say it, she shows it, in ways most men overlook. You can read it in her energy, her priorities, and how she responds when things get difficult. Attraction gets her attention, but consistency earns her loyalty. And if you're not paying attention, you might miss the signs that separate a temporary thrill from a timeless bond. Let's start with something every man needs to understand. A woman's seriousness is not measured by how often she says she likes you. It's measured by what she's willing to do when no one's watching. When a woman is genuinely serious, she'll start mirroring your effort, not because she's playing games, but because she's emotionally investing. She begins to create space for you in her world, not just in her texts or her weekends, but in her long-term plans. She remembers details about you that even you forget. She notices when you're off, even when you say you're fine. She doesn't need to be convinced to stay. She chooses to, every single day. And that choice, quiet and consistent, is the foundation of a woman's seriousness. But here's where it gets tricky. Most men mistake attention for intention. Just because a woman laughs at your jokes, texts you often, or calls you baby, doesn't mean she's serious. There's a difference between interest and investment. Interest is casual. It's curiosity. Investment, on the other hand, requires energy, effort, and emotional vulnerability. The kind of woman who's truly serious about you will start aligning her lifestyle around the relationship in small but meaningful ways. She won't try to control your freedom, she'll respect your independence. She won't compete with your goals, she'll encourage them. You'll feel peace in her presence, not confusion. And that peace, my friend, is one of the most underrated signs of a woman who's emotionally mature and serious about your future together. But let's not romanticize it too much. Even the most serious woman will test you not to manipulate, but to understand your strength. She'll want to know if your words carry weight. Because every woman who's emotionally grounded knows that love without respect dies fast. So when she challenges you, when she questions your consistency, when she observes how you handle stress, it's not to push you away, it's to see if you're stable enough to build with. This is where most men crumble. They interpret her boundaries as rejection, her silence as disinterest, her standards as pressure. But in reality, she's just filtering. Because a woman who's serious about her life won't attach herself to a man who can't lead himself. And here's the funny part. The moment she starts seeing you as someone with discipline, focus, and direction, something shifts. She starts showing up differently. She starts planning, not just reacting. She'll introduce you to people who matter to her. She'll defend you when others question your intentions. She'll start saying we instead of I. That's not a small change. That's a woman saying, I'm not just here for the moment, I'm here for the mission. And if you pay attention, you'll notice that her tone softens around you, her guard drops, and her feminine energy begins to flow effortlessly. You won't have to chase validation anymore, because when a woman feels safe, her love becomes your calm. But here's a moment of truth. Not every man can handle a woman like that, because once a woman is serious, she holds you to the same standard. She expects presence, not excuses. She wants growth, not comfort zones. And this is where men either rise or retreat. The weak man sees her seriousness as pressure. The strong man sees it as partnership. The difference, one seeks to be entertained, the other seeks to be elevated. A woman who's serious about you will mirror your level of maturity. If you move with purpose, she'll move with trust. If you move with confusion, she'll move with distance. Relationships aren't about control, they're about synchronization. And when both energies align, masculine stability and feminine devotion, something powerful happens. You both start unlocking potential you didn't even know existed. Now let's interrupt the seriousness for a second, because if you're still thinking, bro, she liked my last Instagram story, does that mean she's serious? Then no, it doesn't. Likes don't equal loyalty. If she's serious, her energy will speak louder than her emojis. She'll be consistent, not convenient. She'll reach out not because she's bored, but because she genuinely wants to connect. You'll never have to beg for attention that was freely given. And that's a level of peace most men haven't experienced, because they've spent too long chasing women who only like the idea of them. Now here's the cliffhanger most men never expect sometimes. The woman who's serious about you won't look like the type you thought you wanted. She might not be the loudest, most attention-grabbing person in the room, but she'll be the one who listens, who understands your silence, who grounds you when your world feels chaotic. That's the kind of woman you build with, not just post about. But you'll only recognize her if you've outgrown your need for chaos. Because serious women don't chase men who still crave validation. They're drawn to men who've mastered themselves, men who are already building their own kingdom and are simply looking for a queen who can hold the throne beside them, not fight for it. And this is where we enter the second act of your understanding, where fear and excitement collide. Because knowing she's serious is one thing, but being ready for her seriousness is another. Most men think they want a loyal woman until they meet one who demands emotional maturity. When a woman is serious, she will not tolerate inconsistency. If you say you'll call her, she expects the call. If you promise growth, she expects progress. She doesn't want perfection, but she wants effort. She needs to see that you're not just talking about your dreams, but working toward them. She's not impressed by your potential. She's inspired by your persistence. When she's serious, she'll start contributing to your peace, not your problems. She'll make your life simpler, not more complicated. You'll notice she starts protecting your time, not draining it. She'll plan around your priorities because she understands your purpose. That's not submission, that's alignment, and it's rare. But here's the twist. The moment she realizes you're not as serious as she is, she'll withdraw. Not dramatically, not with a fight, quietly. She'll pull her energy back, and you'll feel it. Because serious women don't beg to be understood. They observe, decide, and move on. That's the power of feminine detachment, and it scares men who are used to being chased. But this fear can be your awakening. Because if her seriousness intimidates you, it's probably because you're not used to stability. You've been conditioned by temporary attention, by dopamine hits, by short-term validation. So when a real woman enters your life calm, consistent, and purposeful, she'll feel unfamiliar. You'll mistake her peace for boredom. Don't make that mistake. That peace is the sign of emotional maturity. It's the kind of peace that can help you focus, build, and evolve. Because a man who finds peace in his relationship finds power in his life. That's not a coincidence. It's a pattern. And if you're wondering how to know for sure, here's the unfiltered truth. When a woman is serious about you, she won't need constant reassurance. She'll still communicate, but from a place of security, not fear. She'll want to understand your boundaries, not cross them. She'll challenge you when you're slacking, but she'll also nurture you when you're drained. That duality, the balance of softness and strength, is the mark of a high-value woman. And when you meet her, don't try to impress her with what you have. Impress her with who you are becoming, because she's not choosing the man you are today, she's choosing the man you're building into. Now, as we move into the final act, here's where the real transformation begins. If you want to attract a woman who's serious about you, you must first become serious about yourself. You cannot attract loyalty from a place of confusion. You cannot ask for depth when you live on the surface. A serious woman doesn't fall for potential. She aligns with purpose. And purpose is built through consistency in your habits, your mindset, your discipline. You must live in such a way that your life itself becomes a filter. The wrong ones won't even be able to stay, and the right one won't have to question your intentions. Because at the end of the day, the kind of woman you attract is a reflection of the man you are. If you attract drama, it's because there's chaos in your energy. If you attract peace, it's because you've learned how to protect your own. A serious woman will recognize a man who's grounded. She'll know it by how you carry yourself, by how you handle rejection, by how you treat people who can't give you anything in return. That's the quiet power of emotional mastery. And when you reach that level, you stop chasing women and start attracting queens. So the next time you find yourself wondering whether she's serious about you, pay attention not to her words but to her consistency. Notice whether her actions align with her promises. See if she stands beside you when things aren't exciting, because that's when you'll truly know. And if you're lucky enough to find that kind of woman, don't take her for granted. Honor her effort, match her energy, and protect the peace she brings. Because women like that don't come twice. And before you go, I want to leave you with a question. Which of these signs have you experienced in your own relationships? Have you ever met a woman who showed these behaviors and maybe you didn't realize what you had at the time? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you're ready to learn how to become the kind of man who naturally attracts high-value women and builds an unshakable life, watch the next video on the psychology of unattractive men, because once you understand that, everything changes.